Hello and welcome to Telepath Tactics! If you're familiar with my schedule, you might be aware that Monday would typically be a Feed the Beast day. This is not Feed the Beast, this is something new. There's that much content from PAX that I would like to show off, and if I wait for current series to end and free up my schedule to allow me to put up more stuff, I'm going to be waiting months potentially. So I thought I'd take a week out, show off a lot of cool stuff, and then normal schedule will be resumed next week. I hope that's okay with everyone. So this is Telepath Tactics, which is a strategy RPG from Sinister Design. I had the privilege of working with Craig, the chap who's designing it, on his booth at PAX, and well, if you followed my Advent of Indies, you'll see I played one of the precursors to this game. Ooh, I can move everyone at once. Okay. Yeah. Rally everyone. Cool. Oh, that's awesome. Right, I played one of the precursors to the game, and it's I didn't look very favorably upon it. It was very similar, but I didn't enjoy it. Basically, it's whatever the first fight was. It was just horrifyingly difficult, and I got overwhelmed really, really quickly, and it was no fun. It was no fun. So this I've had a chance to try at PAX, and I've been playing a little bit now, and it's a lot better. I'm enjoying this. This is cool. What it is, if you're not familiar with strategy RPGs, is you command an army, and each character's got their own class and stats and abilities and weapons and stuff. So it's like playing an RPG with lots of characters all at once, and you move them as an army across the battlefield, and it's like chess if you could level up the pawns or something, I guess. So we demolish the bridge, and we have to construct replacements. So the game this is most frequently compared to is Fire Emblem. If you're familiar with Nintendo's Fire Emblem series, this is based around that, but there's a lot more mechanics in there. As you can see, the tutorial is now telling me, ooh, I can build a bridge. Who's Bartleby? That's Bartleby. So I can head over here. It's probably not the place I want to build a bridge, but I could build a bridge there, or I can build a barricade. Cool. Oh, so this guy's got loads of buildings. Cool. So I go ding and put a bridge there. Cool, cool. Some of the soldiers, where are my soldiers? I must have one. These guys have got a shove and a pull, so if I find someone next to the water, I can push them in the water and they'll start drowning and taking damage each turn, which is cool. Ooh, target gets another turn. They've got. So yeah, Fire Emblem. I've not played Fire Emblem, so I can't really compare it to. My experience with these games is Final Fantasy Tactics, and if one could call it such a thing, the what are they called? Advance Wars. Advance Wars is the one. Advance Wars and Final Fantasy Tactics Advance were my main experiences with this sort of genre. And Final Fantasy had some sort of you could move enemies around, you could knock them about a bit, but you never did a great deal. You could push them off a cliff, and it would just make them harder to get back to you, which was useful, you know, if you're like a mage or something. You could cast spells down at them from the top of the cliff while they're busy trying to climb back up. So that was cool. And there's a lot more going on. Like I say, if you throw them in the water, they will start drowning. If you throw them in the lava, they'll start burning. There's status effects and things, which it sounded rather as though, from Craig's description, there's something, what's it called, Fire Emblem didn't feature. It is something that Final Fantasy Tactics did feature. You could poison enemies and freeze them and stuff, so I don't know, it didn't sound, to me it doesn't sound totally innovative, but I guess if you're coming from a Fire Emblem background, it's something new, it's worth checking out. Okay. Supposed to break the barrels without getting shot by snipers. How do we get... Yeah, that sounds easier said than done. They got snipers everywhere. Actually, they got quite a formidable army on this level. Need to keep building. Do I have any other builders that can... Kinetic Gust, Kinetic Pull, Gravity Spike. Okay, so General Sophia is my actual telepath here. I can move people around with my mind. So you can go here. I built this bridge in totally the wrong place, but whatever. Should have started building just across these rocks, would have done the job better. Oh, hang on. Oh, I can move multiple times in one turn. Brilliant. That's easy. Cool, cool. Move you here. I'm running out of energy to build things with, I think. Yeah, I am. I'm going to have to wait till next turn to build that last bit. Never mind. So can I rally everyone as close as possible? I don't know what this guy does. I've just hired him as a mercenary, that's kind of cool as a thing. Yeah, rally everyone. Everyone's no. Rally everyone here. Cool. Yeah, I like that rally mechanic. Just get everyone to the spot. Not necessarily going to put everyone exactly in the ideal positioning for whatever, but nice just as a time saver, sort of early level. That's kind of cool. Okay, end turn. What are you guys doing? You guys are doing nothing yet. Now, one thing Craig advocated or pushed or whatever one would call this is he said that all the enemies will seek you out. They've got a good AI, so they'll come and hunt you down and try and fight you. But these guys ain't done nothing. I mean, maybe saying they'll hunt you down and you don't have to go wait to get into aggro range before they'll move or anything. But well, these guys. Can we get them across the bridge? Rally. Run it. I'm gonna have to move these manual a little bit. I can see. No, that's it. That's as much as I can move. You said they'd have a good AI and try and hunt you down, but well, these guys. Ah, right. There we go. Now we're in aggro range. They've spotted me crossing the river, and now we've got a fight. Cool. So let's do this. No, don't hurt my builder. He's only a mere builder. I wonder if there is a way to speed up the enemy's turn. That'd be cool. Although I'm not aware of any other game that allowed you to speed up. Advance Wars let you speed up everything, which was useful. You could just go bam, 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 and just rush through a fight really fast. That was kind of cool. Final Fantasy, now you gotta sit and wait for everyone. And with a big team, you are waiting a long while. Advance Wars particularly was very much guilty of that. Armies, you're ending up with hundreds and hundreds of units because you've got tanks and soldiers and planes and stuff everywhere. And that made it really difficult to actually... You're waiting a long time to take your turn, basically. So let's see what Syrupant does. Syrupant? What ability has he got? He's got Bonebreaker. Okay, cool. Mace does 7 damage. Cripple does 8 damage and may slow them. Bonebreaker does 8 damage and may weaken them. Or we can shove them. We'll break bones! Crush. Cool, he's weakened. Excellent. That's what I like. Okay, so let's see what those psychic abilities are. Kinetic Pull, Kinetic Gust, Mind Blast, and Gravity Spike, which only works on flying units. So that's no good to me. Right. So I'm going to go behind this guy, and if I use Mind Blast, boom, backstab. So yeah, positional damage is a thing. If you shoot someone in the back, you will do bonus damage to them. So my bowman, he can go there. He's got range, so I can just shoot straight through that target. Final Fantasy Tactics if an ally was in the line of sight of your bowman, you would hit them, which was a mechanic I liked, but apparently he's explicitly chosen not to put that in because it was a mechanic he didn't like. And hey, it's his game. So, ooh, hang on, this is a move that has a sidestep bonus. That's cool. I can jump over an obstacle. Cool. Some cool positioning stuff going on with the rogues. But we will knife him in the side. Sidestab. Nice. Sabrina, you can get over here. And don't expose your back. And we're done. Now, he's taken some hits. It would be nice if I could get him healed. I don't think I can. Minnow Flaxenhair here is my healer, but all the abilities only seem to work in straight lines. You can only you can't attack on a diagonal at all. So just subtle differences between games here. Final Fantasy, you totally could. You could just, you had a range, so if you shot 3 spaces, it would go 1, 2, 3, or it could go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or it could go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. So you kind of ended up with a sort of a radius around it. And I just realised I don't think this records my mouse, so that might not have been too obvious a demonstration. Oh well. But actually, this is the best. Yeah, that illustrates it quite well. So if you could attack, if you can move 5, this would be sort of your Final Fantasy attack radius as well. So if you could attack someone there with a spell, you can also attack them there, or there, or there, or arrows as well. Arrows worked equally well along those lines of sight. However, if you had an ally stood here, it would shoot them before hitting the enemy. So you need to step to the side to get a better line of sight on the enemy. But like I say, subtle differences. Every game is unique in its own special way, and they've all got their own charms and quirks and differences. And we can crush someone. Let's see if we can crush him. Not very well. Not well, we cannot. How far can I move him? We can go there. It's cool. Don't want to expose his back. And we're done. So, end of turn. Minnow stopping anyone else crossing the bridge. Be nice if I could show off some of the push and pull people off and onto things. I don't know whether I'm going to get that opportunity. Oh. No! He's not dead. I thought he was almost dead. He is almost dead. Minnow, do your thing. There is permadeath like Fire Emblem. If you lose a character, you lose a character. They ain't coming back. Final Fantasy sort of had very selective ones. So sort of if a character dies in an area, in a specific area of the map, the lawless areas, they couldn't come back. Anywhere else, you were totally fine. And even then, within the actual context of the battle, you could still use a Phoenix down or whatever and bring them back, and they'd still be okay as long as they're alive when the battle ended. So only if they were dead at the end of a battle in a lawless zone, then they'd die. Which was, yes, it's possible to lose characters, but it's really, really difficult. Whereas Fire Emblem, I think everybody always says they get attached to the characters in Fire Emblem. It's one of those things like, oh no, don't kill my character, I like my character. And I know there's a lot of people get attached to them. Let's have a look-see. Can we do something over here? Kinetic pull. Ah, now see, because that's on the floor above, I would have said that was the same square as that. However, the game doesn't seem to treat it as such, which is kind of weird. That square is on the same line of sight as the floor that she's on. So, and I need to move. Yeah, I need to be in that square above her to be able to pull him. That's a really weird one. Let's undo that move. Let's move her up here, and then I can use a gravity spike. No, wait, hang on. Why would I want to use gravity spike? That's for flying. No, I actually can't hit anything with her. That's unfortunate. Fine, you're going to go over here, hopefully just out of the range of the snipers, and I'll pull them down next turn. You can go around here, shoot him in the face. In your face. You go here, heal my builder, who probably needs a mega shield at this stage. Whoop. Yep. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he has got a good bit of health, but he's taken some damage. Right, so you. I'm going to need to move people just to allow people through to places, I think. So you wait here. How much health does this guy have? Too much for me to hit him with a wrench. So I move. I'm not doing this well. You need to be right out the way, basically. Actually, turn around and you're done. Right. So Sabrina. No, not Sabrina. Lizardy man. Just mace him in the back. Bam. Down. Cool. However, I'm now exposed from the rear. Oop. Never mind. How much health has this guy got? He's got 5. My knife does how much? Does 6. That's fine. So I should be able to. Can I leap over that? And I can move. Brilliant. It's wonderful. And stabby stabby in the back. Boom. Yes. It's good. Right, now what I want to do is... Can I that's an interesting one. Could I shove a barricade? Does that... It does nothing. Okay. Oh well. It was an experiment. I wanted to see, could you move a barricade just by pushing it around? Which would have been an interesting one. Okay, my cryokineticist. Mage, basically. Nothing doing here, really. Out of range of everything. Bring my soldier across. And you can wait. Lakshmi Bana? Crossbowman. What range do you have? Not as good as the archer, actually, I don't think. There's also a bayonet, which allows me to do melee damage, though. Which gives me a little bit more functionality, I suspect. Okay, cool. You wait there, and the enemy can take their turn. So right now, this game is available on Kickstarter. It has already beaten its goal. It beat the goal in like 3 days or something silly. So it's got a bit of a fan base. It's got a bit of a demand for this game. Clearly, someone likes the game that I disliked before. So it's got this established universe and established world with from the previous games in it, and it's got a little bit of fan base, and they've hit the 15,000, I think it was, target he was aiming for in like 3 days. So now he's aiming for stretch goals. The first goal, I think, added more detail to the world, more characters, classes, animations, that sort of thing, I think. Wouldn't quote me on this, I'm just trying to go by memory here. The second goal, which they are about $1,000 shy of at the moment, adds a lot more dungeon traps and stuff, adds switches, levers, tripwires, pressure plates, that sort of thing, stuff that makes a dungeon interesting. So where do I need? I need to be up here, don't I, to be able to pull you. There we go. So if I pull you off, not like that. Ah, and they take falling damage. And that's still really weird because they've fallen sideways as well in terms of the map placement. They should have fallen onto the row below. Just a little bit odd. Right, so you can go up here. Have I got any special abilities? don't really know. All I can do is mace them. I guess it takes a lot of my energy to do these special crushing abilities that weaken people and stuff. So you have mage abilities, you've got a range, you can cryoblast him. And boom. Ah, my mage levels up. More health, more psi power. That's about it. What's my range on this guy? Not enough. Let me take a step forward. And shoot through my mage into his face. Yeah. And ooh, he levels up. No new abilities. Right, my bowman wants to go here. In fact, crossbowman, isn't it? Which one does more damage? Crossbow or... Alright, crossbow needs to be 2 spaces away, whereas bayonet needs to be melee range. Both cost the same, and the bayonet does less damage, so I should really be stood 1 space to the right, but that would probably expose me to a lot of attacks from those guys up there. I mean, I'm already fairly exposed, I guess, but I would be more immediately exposed. And now I've got my back turned because I made my move. Wonderful. For 5 energy, I could motivate them to turn around. Don't know. Don't know if that's something I need to do. No, I shall wait. See what happens. My lizard man, my mercenary for hire, could probably use some health. So yeah, this battle's going to go on for a little while yet, and I think you're getting a feel for the flavour of the game. There's physics, there's mechanics, there's lots of interesting stuff that you wouldn't get in other games, and I think it's worth checking out. So if you want to follow the game in its development and help contribute to it and pre-order it, perhaps, you could go check it out on Kickstarter. I think it's also on Steam Greenlight as well, so if you want to go on Steam Greenlight, you can go help it get approved there, which would be fantastic. And yeah, you can follow the development and get access to this alpha copy. Another feature I've completely neglected to mention is that it comes, all the tools that are being used to make this come bundled with it, so you can make your own campaigns from scratch, design new classes and stuff, and at the minute they look a lot like developer tools, so they might be a little bit hard to get to grips with, but I think by the time it reaches a release date, they're probably a lot easier to work with. So you can make your own campaigns from scratch, and there's local multiplayer as well, so you can then play those campaigns with your friends in a hot seat manner. Sounds like a lot of fun, so I recommend going and checking it out. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time.